Excellent. Cool. All right, nice one. Got a really great guest who I think you boys have seen him or heard from him before. But yeah, we got Richie back on the stream, and yeah, I'm really excited to have him back on this one because you made a crazy amount of progress since we last spoke. So yeah, just for the guys who don't know yet, do you want to just give a quick overview of who you are, what you do, and why you decided to get in contact with me in the first place?
Yeah, sure thing. Thanks, Christian. So, hi everyone. So I'm Richie, and I've been member of the Entourage for the past since April, and I've been following Christian since pretty much around like mid-February. So I've made a very quick decision to take the action actually. Now, a bit about, so I'm a very private person, so this is why you see I kind of I'm blurring myself and stuff. Just don't ask me why. I just do it. And you can follow my journey if you, for example, look at my comments to earlier videos this year that Christian posted, and we also did a little live stream after my first immersion in London in June. And sometimes Christian would give a little update on our journey in some of the live streams, but basically just a quick background. So I'm 38-year-old and I am based in London normally, even though I'm kind of traveling around a lot because I run my own business and I am location independent. In terms of the main topic, and this is the relationships, is that when I started, so basically, I think kind of my turning point was last Christmas, and this is when I had a very very toxic relationship for more than 4 years ago, which without much details, just was very very bad for me, very damaging, and it damaged me a lot, and I took like 4 years, so to speak, to kind of properly recover from that, which means that I didn't date anyone. Maybe just occasional kind of lads' nights out, with nothing. So basically, I was in a pretty bad place. And then around Christmas last year, I thought, you know what, I'm kind of ready to just to take care of that part of life as well, because I was focusing on other things like work mainly, myself, my health, and so around the Christmas time, I literally, how I started is I thought, you know what, okay, let me go back on the apps, because apparently this is how people meet these days. And even though I did cold approach back in the day, back in 2000s, when it became like a little bit of a buzz word, like this whole you guys know probably, the older publics especially. Now then when I went on them, I went on these apps, and I just realized that I got so depressed that this shit is just depressing, and I knew like this is not how you are supposed to meet people in general, because this is just I knew subconsciously this is wrong, but I thought, okay, so what is right? I thought, okay, the whole cold approach that we were doing like back in 2000s, let's see if it's still alive, because I was, to be honest, I think probably many older guys are thinking cold approach is probably dead because dating apps killed it. And this is how I thought as well. Then I started kind of checking, okay, so who's there now, especially in the UK, who are doing that. And then I came across your channel, which is out of everything that I saw, including the US, I mainly the live streams that you did with deeper topics. And so like, well, Christian, he's real, he is legit. It's not just kind of, because I knew lots of charlatans from the past, and I thought, okay, well, this guy can definitely help me. So I started engaging with your content, and then beginning of June we had Let's chronologically. So in April, so I joined the Entourage, and it was 2 months before my immersion. So I remember that I asked you like, well, should I join now or should I just wait? Because I mean, like, yeah, if I'm not ready to do anything, like I would feel a bit out of place. But I was totally wrong, because as soon as I joined, basically, so we started with our group calls, lots of interaction with everyone, and that really started shifting, my mindset in the right place. I mean, I can't describe the amount of overthinking, to call it that way, right? So it's that I had about this area of life, and that with the support from you guys, I was able to at least put it in the right direction. Then what we had in June, we had our first session. So basically, before I started working with you, just the day before, I went out with Daniel just to kind of do like this temperature check for with reels on camera, to see, okay, so where am I standing? And I remember, so we were just running around central London filming, and I just knew that, yeah, that things were bad. When I looked at the reels, I thought like, this is super cringe, because but then I knew, I had my my philosophy, and when I joined the Entourage, right, I was literally thinking, okay, well, I know I don't have the skills, and I view it purely as a skill, as a self-development in general. I know that it can be learned, like anything, like if you want to be a singer, and and somebody humiliates you on stage, like Simon Cowell tells you, like, you suck. It doesn't mean that it's over for you, because you can still, like, if you're very determined, you can still. And I think, even like, to bring this analogy, I think even on this talent show, there were like some people who would appear there first, then they were totally kind of burned out by the judges, and they take like a couple of years to really work on themselves, and they come back, they're like, you remember me? And then they're like, wow, and they are like totally different people, and they take all the stage, by storm. So I knew that these skills are no different, and I was prepared to work for it, because I thought, you know what, I mean, I absolutely believe. It's not even believing; it's like just knowing. I mean, I know, yeah, this is just how it should be. This is the right thing. And I knew at the same time that, yeah, well, there's going to be loads of work needed, mentally, physically, skills wise, you name it. So, and that's how we started working. So we had our first immersion. We had 4 days in London, the beginning of June, and we made our podcast. So if you guys are interested, you can scroll a bit back in Kristian's live stream, and I think it's uh, like around like 15 June or something like that. That's where we had like a recap, and I was very hyper about what we learned, and that those were kind of early days in that regard. So we did manage to basically tackle um, technicalities, like the approach itself, the topics, the things, and yeah, so collected some numbers as well. So we even had some women in the pipeline who were keen on going on dates. But actually, then I thought, you know what, I'm going to collect even more numbers. That's the beginner's mindset. And then we went to, so second one, was it in, that was in Amsterdam, second one. So basically, when Kristian was in Amsterdam, and I went out then after the first workshop, first immersion, to practice on my own a lot. So when Kristian came to Amsterdam, I joined them there as well, and we did, I think, 2 days we did in Amsterdam. 1 day also with filming, and yeah, that was kind of still early days, still lots of things that needed fixing, but keeping the momentum. There were already improvements. Then a couple of weeks after it, I went to Manchester with you, and we had a blast of a time. It was really that was really amazing transformation in terms of, I think, as you said, for me, Manchester kind of opened up this the banter in me. So which I initially was. So I think my initial interactions were very kind of reserved. Yeah, so very kind of polite, platonic, nothing really special. And obviously that wouldn't, I would say, quite convert, especially if your whole, persona is still in development. Now, yeah, we had like full weekend in Manchester. I think the first day, I think we did like 6 hours, like 6+ hours we did. Just, I remember just walking, and I was I had a very stressful week before. I was traveling, I had some problems, at home with my house. I got myself totally locked out at the last minute, and I had to call like locksmith and things. So, but just purely on discipline. And then after Manchester, I went to Sweden, went to Stockholm together as well. So we did 2 days there as well. And then when I got back to I got back to London, I had a little bit of a hibernation, a couple of weeks with my family and stuff, but I was still going on. And then the highlight is that beginning of September, I decided, okay, so we are going to take this shit to a next level altogether. And I moved to a location that I, like for privacy reasons, I'm not going to disclose, but this is the city and the place where I always liked the people, liked the women. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to move there for like a month and a half, and I'm going to go really, really hard with this because, obviously I'm investing money into traveling, and, it's not that I'm just sitting at my own place in London. And what I did here is I threw out a commitment to the group that whilst I'm here, every day that I'm here, I will do at least one proper, direct, cold approach. And when I landed here, and before, through my previous travels to this place, I already met a girl through cold approach, and I just went on one date with her. So I had a second date already planned. So when I moved in here, my first day was 7. I think I landed around maybe, let's say, 12, and then at 7 in the evening, I already have my date schedule. And then I thought, you know what? Now I have time for approaching. I went hard. I think I did like 10 direct approaches within in 1 hour, and then I thought, okay, now it's time to get ready for the date. And so she came down to my place and stuff. So we had was good. And from there on, I was really on it. And what I did is something that I think was quite new to the group as well. And I hope I gave value to everyone by doing so, is using the group as your kind of wingman. Because especially maybe if you're a new location, or you're not in the right state of mind, what I would be doing is wherever I was out there, I would record short video messages for guys with myself, just talking to the camera, basically what Kristian says on the streams about social freedom, because that basically kind of for me personally, it made me feel exactly the same way as if I would have like a nice wingman with me. So I just talk to the phone. I know that there are real people there who kind of listen to me and respond, and then people kind of cheer you up. There's so you have like audience. You feel a bit like a performer on stage, maybe, but in a good way, So you see that there is, so you're not alone. And it really allowed me, some days I did by myself. I did over 20, maybe 25 a day, included. And also an interesting highlight here is that I did not take any sabbatical. So I took all my work with me, which meant that I still was running on full capacity here with my work. Thankfully, it's quite flexible, so I can arrange my time a bit. But I literally. I literally pushed everything to the limit here. So, which meant that I needed to also get my physical condition in order. And at the beginning, I think first week, so I had the one-on-one with Kristian, and we thought, okay, so what's missing? And I think what was lacking, especially, that was this kind of grounded, this masculine sexual frame. And it was obviously kind of missing because I would spend lots of time on work at my laptop, some work that I'm doing is extremely boring, and I would be like totally bored out of my mind, and then trying to talk to women. Then of course the conversations are kind of boring and platonic. So. On Kristian's advice, I just signed up here to the gym with a personal trainer, and I committed to, like, for the whole duration of my stay here, I was going every other day. I was going to the session. I had the trainer is a great guy. He's from Dominican Republic, so it's a cool guy, you know. So there's a bit of social momentum going on there. Eating clean, obviously, you know, like avoiding alcohol. So almost to the point that there's another interesting aspect. I was going the first week, especially because I was so excited to be in this place. I was going out almost every day, like Monday, Tuesday, and stuff in the evenings, to socialize with people, to socialize with women as well. And I would not be drinking. I would just be drinking like non-alcoholic beer, non-alcoholic wine, and I felt amazing. It also, like weekend, where everybody is pissed. And I remember, I remember myself, and even Kristian had the honor of seeing me in intoxicated condition once. So I know that I know that it's. I mean, I don't blame people, but I thought, you know what, I don't have time to waste on this, and I need to keep my health up. So I've had a blast of evenings, you know, where literally, I would just roll in at the bar, you know, they're like. But oftentimes, not every time, but most of the times when I went out, I would just go in there. There's always like a group of good-looking girls, and just roll in there, and it's just on in terms of interaction is on. Not saying that they always fancy me, but oftentimes yes. So I'll just get myself non-alcoholic stuff, and yeah, there were like one woman. I mean, like, yeah, she was okay. It was not quite my type, but she was literally kind of begging me to take her number. Then she was blowing up my phone afterwards, you know, to go on a date with her. And I literally just met her at the bar, just by with drinking my non-alcoholic wine, and that brought me in this nice social state. So moving on from there, I've been having one-on-ones every week with Kristian, so check-ins just to make sure that I'm on the right path, to support me throughout this, apart from obviously all the support from the Entourage group, including weekly calls. So I'm trying not to miss any. I think I only missed it when I was on a date, or even then I called in before. Yes, I called in before, and then I went straight up, you know, to the venue. So, but anyway, then I went. So here, like literally, I was doing like everything that I could. So basically, going out by myself to really high end venues, like really like proper venues where last time when I was here in that place, and I was a bit tipsy, and I was kind of a bit funny, they wouldn't let me in. Now when with the right frame, I literally saw that the bouncers, they really looked at me. I remember. So that was the. So now it's after the transformation, yeah. So before the transformation, they would say, "Okay, you can't get in, fuck off." Now I was in my right frame, dressed up. I remember I was in this queue, and there were actually local guys before me, and they were literally carding them, giving them hard time, asking questions. And then when I'm on my own, and I think like, oh shit, maybe they're gonna, give me a hard time as well. These bouncers, they look at me like from top to bottom, okay, sir, welcome. And I was like, wow, I felt like a fucking James Bond. But this is all of the right frame. So they people feel it, not only women, but you see, like, especially these guys, they're trained to see like if you're a serious guy, if you're some kind of a joker. And then when I was in this place, I kind of sat close to the door, and I see that there were loads of guys, really like normal guys. They just wouldn't let them. And I'm not bragging here. What I want to say here is that this is all thanks to all this transformation that we've been putting. This is the whole puzzle. So apart from all the cold approach, this is what Kristian says. It doesn't matter like what you say or how you say it, but who you are when you say it. And this is exactly the who you are component here, because you see that you respect yourself, you look after yourself, and people give you respect back. And this is just as simple as that. Now, then I was with this rights kind of. So then we had to work on basically putting like this the sexual tone into the approach. That was a massive turning point, because before, like, yeah, I could approach. Yeah, I didn't have much. Well, so I would say I didn't have approach anxiety, but not, I would say very trivial. Like, yeah, it's kind of it's a bit of like nothing that would stop me, to be honest. Surprisingly enough, I think throughout my whole journey, I never had like crippling approach anxiety. I would be kind of, yeah, I would be anxious, but still go there. And at some point, it's just like, yeah, okay. But the problem then would be, at some point I would be like, yeah, okay, I go there, I approach them, but nothing really happening, nothing converts, and it's all either flakes or just platonic blah blah chit chat. I remember here, so I was talking to this girl for pretty much like an hour, and I thought like, well, yeah, this is solid, and then she flaked at me still, and I was like, okay, okay, something is really damn wrong here, Christian, help me out. So basically, so we worked on doing the right things for basically having the right masculine James Bond sexual frame. Remember, sexual frame, we don't mean like doing something creepy, like, I don't know, sticking your tongue out like a lizard in Tony Montana, but like, but it's more about like the subtle things, the eye contact and the way you talk and the way you carry yourself. And this is, you can't fake it. This is not something that it's not tricks, it's the lifestyle. Now, at some point, I got it, and I went out. I remember it was Saturday, was it? Yeah, Saturday, kind of later afternoon. That's when people are already in a happy mood. They're going somewhere, and I see this girl. She was rushing somewhere, and I was like, well, I really like her. So, and I kind of dressed up. So how it went is, I dressed up. I'm going out with the intention of, okay, I'm going to approach somebody, and I'm also going out on my own as well. So that was the time, I'm going to some fancy places anyway. So I see her, and for a brief second, like, I had an eye contact. So I kind of saw like, oh, she kind of checked me out as well, very quickly. But you can't tell. Yeah, I don't know. It's not that I wouldn't call it like IOI or anything. It's just like, yeah, she looked at me too. Can be anything. So I'm thinking like, oh shit, she's walking too fast, all that stuff. But just by automation, so I go there, uh, just standard, like just standard cold approach with how I talk to her. But the eye contact, everything was like to the book, So it was a very short approach, and I told her like, look, I'm just going to grab drinks there. Do you want to go with me? And she's like, no, I have some friends. And actually, like, yeah, maybe this was something that I discussed with Daniel, that he is not really keen on me saying that, but I actually in that case it worked. So she said like, oh, I'm going to grab some drinks with my friends, and I'm kind of jokingly say, oh, with your boyfriend then? And she's like, oh, no, I don't have a boyfriend. And then I said, well, give me your number then I'll take you out. And she's like, okay. So I take, and when because I said it's a joke, so that's why it wasn't like supplicating like, oh, maybe I was joking, yeah, so have a friend, boyfriend or something, yeah. So when you're in the right frame, you say it with the right intonation, with the right delivery and stuff. Sorry. But basically, yeah, and then so I took a number. So when I take numbers, usually what I do is I call them back just to make sure, especially internationally, because you never know. I had it before. I would take the number and it would just not come through, not because they flaked, but because of the technicalities. So I called her, so she has my number. Okay, then I have my steak at this fancy restaurant, and I dropped her a message on WhatsApp, and it was kind of stuck on undelivered. And then at some point I see like there's an SMS coming in, and because she didn't use WhatsApp that often as she did the iMessages, she was literally saying like, oh yeah, this is me, how's it going and stuff. And I was like, oh wow, this is on. So, and then so then I went out, had like this crazy guy, crazy night out. There was this English guy who kind of blocked me. That was fine. That was a very good challenge. So that guy kind of showed me how it's done. I was like, fair play, bro. Fair play. So I mean, like, now I remember, Christian, I was really angry at that guy at that time, but now I'm laughing because I think like, yeah, the bro he did well. He did very well. And then I absolutely how do you call it? I have I have much love to this brother now. After all, so. What happened then? Then I take her on a date before our Entourage calls. I'm talking on the as I'm walking. You remember probably as I'm walking to this date venue, and I'm talking like very loudly, like Tony Montana style and stuff. So I went on that date, and it was crazy sexual in terms of like how everything was, and she was like. Yeah, so she said like, "Yeah, you're like a caveman," and I was like, "Fuck yeah, I am." So, and what was it? Yeah, so that was really good in terms of how this whole date went, and she was very impressed. So then next day she came to my place. Yeah, she wanted to come to my place, so we kind of and from there on, so we were seeing each other for like kind of 4 weeks whilst I was here. Then in the meantime, I was out there approaching, and that was really helping me to kind of keep the right frame of mind and to have this abundance mentality. So that really helped. And then at some point, with that girl, I mean, we had like very different personalities, like those things that she said, I didn't agree with and stuff. So I thought, okay, well, we're gonna kind of organically didn't work, which was fine, and then we had our as we kind of decided to part our ways. I had Daniel here for the two back-to-back weekends in for filming and for coaching. So, and also throughout the week we met up, and that was so that was really that was very intense because we went out like every I don't know how many hours we did and how many approaches. I think I'm around 400 plus in the past 5 weeks. So we were polishing up everything that needed to be polished up. So basically taking the approach to like what kind of perfection, to call it that way. I mean, of course, perfection is a very vague thing here, but basically we managed to get me to a level when I was able to communicate normally, without like too much just being just kind of more or less kind of myself, natural, and most importantly, just having long conversations. And so Kristian and Daniel, they did a podcast on that, so you guys can hear it. It was from last week. But the most important and the most like vital, like for me, the vital thing is just without much detail. I met like literally my dream woman, and we have dated now, and so we've been together, and it's going very well, and I feel like super in love, super happy, and this is something that I didn't feel it with the previous girl. It was just more like, yeah, okay, kind of. It obviously would feel good that it worked. Now, obviously, when you approach somebody that you like, but with this person, everything just matches, in terms of personality wise and what I'm looking for in a woman. So this is why I'm saying, like, look, I mean, early days we're taking it slow as much as I can, but I totally envisage myself in long-term relationship, or I would even marry this woman if she is how I think she is, which so far just has been confirmed. So and this is mind-blowing because on so many levels since I started, I wouldn't, especially given the relatively short time frame, but it may be short on calendar, but Kristian, the guys, they know that I've been putting in hard miles every day. So and I think as opposed to maybe many guys, including myself, before, I'll be like, yeah, like, I'm busy with work now. I have like a couple of hours on Saturday. I'll do it. Oh, this Saturday, I don't know, my parents come down. Okay, I'll do it next Saturday. With me, it was like every day, like sometimes few hours. Sometimes even falling back on work commitments because of that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just prioritizing my self-development. And this is huge. Now, another thing that I want to say, especially when you meet your ideal person, this is when loads of and back in the day, and I think with most guys, this is where they start getting freaking out because they don't have abundance. They think, oh, what if I mess up? And of course I have these feelings as well, but it's literally, for example, before our time together with her, I went out there, and thanks to the group, we kind of have this little challenge, challenging each other to like approach like the most hottest girl you ever see, and stay there for 5 minutes. And I thought, okay, I did it, and I did that. So, and this very, like, this totally my type, a very tall blonde girl, like amazing. And I just rolled into her, and I remember everything was so smooth. Technically, I thought like, wow, this is if I was a coach and recorded it, that would be like a like this textbook approach. So and yeah, then she was keen to go on a date. She gave me a number. I see her WhatsApp picture, and it's super hot, and I'm like, wow. But then I'm going out with my girl on the same evening, and I didn't even bother texting that girl, even though she was super hot. And most guys, they would think I'm crazy, but I'm actually abundant. And what helped then is when I had a hint of, let's say, anxiety with my girl, especially like, yeah, so in private, and I'm like thinking like, oh, I need to make it. I thought like, you know what, I have not only this girl and other girls like in pipeline, but I have the skill that like at the click of a finger, to call it that way, without sounding cocky, but I can pull that off, and I can. Not saying that I can close every girl, but I know how to just go out there and just do it, and it just time and time again improves itself. Sometimes even I'll walk out of the door, and the first one I do is boom, and it's close. Sometimes no, sometimes I go out and I have like do like 40 approaches and I have nothing. Sometimes it's like the first one is the best one, so there's no correlation there as I saw it. But the correlation here is the skill itself. So you know that you deliver. You know what to do, and this is so also now. So currently, I'm working with Kristian and with Daniel on improving my mainly kind of the inner game interaction. So it basically, as we saw, is excuse me, is the if you look at it technically. As men, well, I think this is how we look at it. Okay, so first is we get we approach, so we get the, let's say, number of contact details. That part is fine. This is the beginning, right? Okay, then from approach to the actual date, for me that part is fine. Then the actual date, just making sure that you create the right chemistry there. This is fine. I mean, like, I'm not saying that that I do it consistently and stuff, but most of the time, if I like the girl, if we're on a date, things happen. This is fine. Now, when it's like from a successful date to having her, let's say, at your place or you at her place, this is where loads of nerves and anxiety may come in. So this is something that we have been working on, and especially then after you slept with a woman and you think, you know what, I want to make her my girlfriend, then the retention, that's where loads of things will come up as well. And this is something that we're focusing on the last two steps in the journey. But to and maybe people who listen to that, they will think like, yeah, well, I can't even get this first thing done. So with me, so I had to start from scratch. So to get to this point, we had to work really hard to make sure that I can approach and get something and get bloody dates out of it, right? Because this is most of the beginners' complaints, including myself. I thought like, putting all these hours, going out there, and just not even getting anything. Like, oh yeah, I'm getting numbers, but they're all bloody flake. And then when you get the dates, like, yeah, but it's not going anywhere. So this can be learned, and I'm a really good guinea pig in that regard, because I had to walk this journey from scratch in a relatively short period of time. Now, quick takeaways. Sorry, I'm rambling on for a lot, but quick takeaways here is, first of all, what I keep saying is that what you need to have is, you need to have a desire. You need to want something. So if you're watching this, and if you watched by now, right? So you surely have a desire to be good at cold approach for whatever reason, right? And I would say cold approach, yes, it's one aspect, but it's like, as we said, when I was going out, this is then whatever night game, whatever they used to call it. But basically, you should good at talking to women and attracting women. I think this is probably the better way to say, because it's more than cold approach itself, but you want to be able to attract women. If you have the right desire, like it's not something they think like with me, for example, like I can see some gym transformation video from some guy who like totally bulked up, and it would be nice to have a six-pack. I don't want a six-pack. I mean, like, I'm not really kind of have this burning desire that I'm going to bed every day. They're like, yeah, man, I want a six-pack. I want a six. I'm like, yeah, if it was easy, just a click of a finger, I got a six-pack. Yeah, sure, I'd get it, but I don't want it. So I don't care. But with this thing, I really wanted it. It was like really, really wanted. So like, yes, and so desire and being prepared to work for it. So very clear, like, okay, I want to attract women. Yes, I want to become an attractive guy, and I want to work hard no matter what. And I understand that maybe it's going to be lots of hard work, because I might have some backlog in terms of whatever, social development, physical development, anything. But I know it can be learned, and there's so many examples out there. So yeah. And secondly, is that if you want something, let's say certain type of women, like from particular place, because the place where I am, and it's quite tough, and I would say that, like, I keep talking very often about it, but I never play on white Western privilege, so like passport bros game and stuff like that, which some people may I think or assume, because like the types of girls that I fancy, they can't care less. Where I'm from, they can't care less. That I can that I'm like, I don't know. So and this is fair play. Now, which means that I'm prepared to put extra hard work into it. So and sorry, losing the train of thought. So what I want to say is that, yes, so if you have like this clear desire and clear goal, like, okay, I want this. So what I then say to myself and to other people, like, so what's your alternative, right? So okay, you want this, and it happened to be difficult to achieve. But what alternative have we got here? So okay, well, alternative is not to do it and just sit frustrated for the rest of your life, and then when you're already old and it's too late, you think like, shit, you know what, I should have actually done that. So yeah, so this is not for faint-hearted, and I know that there are lots of people who watch this content and they kind of think like pretty much what I had with six-pack, like, yeah, it would be good to have it, but too much fucking work, let me just grab a pint or play some video games, that's easier. So, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I mean, like, as long as you just recognize that you're not serious, that's fine. But I think if you are serious, then Kristian is definitely the right person for you. But you need to be prepared to, just to be bloody serious about it. And it doesn't matter like where you start. You can even think like, you know what, I'm 50 and I haven't even touched a woman in my life, but I want to turn it around, and this is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I mean, this is like, yeah, okay, it's a drawback compared to the average person probably, but you can definitely turn it around if you want it. And one of the important things for me was to literally shut down lots of noise from YouTube. I had to stop watching Andrew Tate, handbraking. But seriously though, also people who you hang out with, because like, yeah, I have some friends, they're cool guys, but they just don't dig it. And whenever I talk to them about it, they would inflict loads of what I call mind viruses on me, like, oh, you can do that, oh, this is bad, oh, that's bad. Just they're all projecting their own insecurities and fears, not because they're jealous. Maybe some of them are, but most of the time it's just their natural response. Same as like, oh, I want to start a successful business, big business. People will say like, oh no man, no, just do your shit 9 to 5 job, it's secure. Business is difficult and risky. Very similar here. So be very careful who you hang out with and who you share the information with. That's why I'm a super private person. So yeah, and yeah, just to sum this up. So I'm a very good example. The reason I'm doing also this live stream, because I want to, of course, I want to help Kristian to spread the message and to reach people who may be in a similar position, or well, yeah, in similar position, or like better position, maybe worse position, but somebody who will say like, sorry, okay, Kristian, that's cool, you can do it, I believe you, but yeah, but I'm a basket case because XYZ. And you can see with me, I had a very difficult start. Sorry, because I came from a very, very bad place. I had to turn my life around, but I knew very clear. I knew very clear what I wanted, and this is the key. This is the key. So yeah, I think I probably said enough now. So Kristian, so hand over to the word to you, if you want to highlight anything about this this whole journey that I described.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, you just need to feel so proud of what you've achieved in a relatively short space of time. I think that where you were at the start, after coming from your 4-year dry spell, toxic relationship, worried that you weren't actually going to be able to change. And yeah, when I got that message from you the other day, just saying, hey, I went out today, I met this amazing person, things are going incredible, I can't believe it. It's like, yeah, that was just everything to me, because that's the reason why I got started with this in the first place. It was to actually share moments like that, and to know that myself, Daniel, and all the guys in the Entourage were able to influence that in some way. Yeah, it just makes it all worthwhile. But I think the main thing that I like to take away from what you were saying is just that sensation of abundance that you now have. I think that is so important for you going forwards. I know you struggled in the past with neediness and getting over attached to people who you're in relationships with, but now you've unlocked this skill and you've unlocked abundance. And abundance, it's not always having, it's knowing you can have. I think the fact that you're able to go outside, talk to people, get phone numbers, and not even message those phone numbers, even though they are high quality leads that a former version of yourself would have thought, nah, I'd never be able to get this person. You're now not even pursuing those because you've already got something great going on in your life. So I think that's where the true transformation has been for you, is getting you to a place of that constant state of abundance, rather than suffocating in scarcity like you had been previously. So yeah, just a massive well done from me to you. This is very much just the start of everything, and we've still got work to do. But yeah, I think the place that you started to where you're at now, yeah, truly transformative, truly inspiring, and truly phenomenal. So just well done.
Thank you, Kristian. Yes, this is a very important thing to highlight here, is the abundance feeling, because and we managed to flip the switch, I think, in the past few weeks, because even when I first got here, I was still very needy. I was still very attached. But by putting all this massive work, we are now able to, because the quality of leads that are all kind of sounds business wise, but like, let's still kind of stick to the terminology. Anyway, talking about people here, but it's it is what it is. But basically, yeah, that's what Daniel tries to teach me as well. Now, I said, like, yeah, because I use this language a lot. I use lots of even the OPOA language, and he doesn't like it. So I think that the truth is in the middle, maybe, because sometimes some words they're very effective, and I think we as men probably like kind of using words that without too much waffle around it. Okay, say what it is. So but basically, yes. So now the quality of leads and the quality of interactions and the potential that they convert is so high, that because of the skill, right? So that I don't feel neediness. Yeah. So I mean, like, like some maybe thoughts like, oh yeah, so I'm still trying to kind of, I'm learning from Kristian and from Daniel about being able, how not to go overboard with messaging, for example, and calls and all that stuff. So this is the next stage, but that's a luxurious problem to worry about. But the main thing here is that, yes, so you just know it, and the quality. I mean, the most important thing is the quality. It's mind blowing. I mean, like, so also with my girl, like I literally, when I slept with her and I'm just sleeping next to her and just look at her, I thought, like, this is just unbelievable. The beauty is just like, and my exes, they were by no means, not attractive girls, because I'm very fussy. So even in the past, when I still was in scarcity, I would rather than just not pursue anybody, rather just be with somebody that I just don't fancy. I don't work like that. And myself, my mates, they said, like, yeah, man, you've been driving for years, just take someone. And I say, like, I don't want that. It's either somebody I like or not, because that's not how I work. But this, and it all just comes down to not believing in yourself, believing in the skills, and have the support from. Belief itself is fine, but without Kristian and without the group, without Daniel's help as well, there's no way I would be able to pull that off, because I would then message some of my mates and they would have told me, like, no, man, bullshit, bro, like, what are you doing? Just go to the pub and get drunk with us. So yeah, so that's why, just to sum it up, guys, if you're very serious and ready to put the work, I urge you to reach out to Kristian. I know that Entourage is probably closed now still, right? So, but just make sure that when it opens, that you that you seize the opportunity, because I was lucky that I was able to do that when so if I waited, let's say if I waited, I was still kind of thinking, like, yeah, I'm not ready yet, and I decided, okay, now is what's it, like, November almost, I'm ready, and then I go to Kristian and say, like, yeah, sorry, bro, it's closed. I would be like, shit, like, so, okay, another year of dry spell.
Back onto Bumble.
Yeah, go back to Bumble. Exactly. Or even worse, let's go pay for play, but not.
Yeah, that would have been a long winter for you, a long winter. But but no, it's just what you say. Like you were saying before, I don't have time for anybody who doesn't actually have time for their own transformation. Like, you need to be serious about this. We're not offering magic bullets. We're not offering quick fix solutions. Like, I can give you the playbook. I can hold you accountable. I can introduce you to the right people. I can't approach for you in the same way a personal trainer can't lift the weight for you. A personal trainer can't stop you from stuffing your face with donuts at 11:30 on a Tuesday night. It's discipline over desire. So you need to be as committed to your transformation as I am, because if you're not, then you're not going to get anything out of it. And I think that's where a lot of guys will just fall short of their own transformation. They think all they need to do is pay a little bit of money and then the lives are going to change. It's like, no, the money gives you access to the skills, the mindsets, and the people, but we can give you all the tools. It's up to you what you decide to build with those tools. And I think you're a shining example of what happens when you do have that burning desire. You spoke a lot about that on this call and in private conversations that we've had. Everything that you've done in your life, you've known the reason why you wanted to do it, but then you had the burning desire to actually follow through with it, rather than just being like a weekend warrior who dips his toe in it and then thinks, it's not really for me. Maybe I'll do it next year. You were all in. You were fully committed, and you'll get out of this what you're prepared to put into it. And I think for a lot of people, they just need to be honest with themselves, and they just don't truly want it, because usually our reality will reflect our desires. So if you don't want it, that's fine. Go take up crochet or knitting. Forget about this. But if you're serious about it, that's what we're here for. Like, we're here for the serious action takers. If you're not one of those people, then we're definitely not for you. So yeah, I think that was important to highlight. You have to have that burning desire, otherwise it's a waste of time.
Yes, same as like, okay, let me go back to crocheting on knitting, and then you do it for a couple of days. Nah, bullshit, like, so. Yeah, uh, if you want to be good at knitting, you have to have this burning desire there as well. So anything in life, right? So, and this is key. This is key because it comes down to, you triggered me when you said like about donuts and stuff, because what I'm doing now is like your diet needs to be on point, right? So make sure that your body is, so feed yourself right food, go exercise, take like some supplements to give you like the stamina and stuff, because it all is like, and believe me guys, like I bloody like drinking my bottles of wines, or, and like, as a good friend of mine said, but you like getting smashed. And I was like, yeah, I like going to pubs in London and getting absolutely hammered with the boys. I love that. But I have my priorities now, and I say like, look, if I do that, even if I do that once, it will just kick me out of my. So yesterday, like, yeah, I had like this wine. I had one glass of wine. That's fine, but then I said, okay, that's it, because I need to be sharp there, and this is priority. But when I keep talking about it, like, I still, like, I picture that when I had this gorgeous girl next to me, literally in my bed, and I look at her with, like, I'm not talking simpy here, but I'm talking like with, um, and I thought like, well, this is what I'm doing it for. This is what I've. This all this investment is, and it felt right. It felt. I didn't feel like, oh wow, how did I get this girl? So like, yes, this is what I'm doing now, and everything felt right, deserved, and not that I'm worried like, oh, maybe to keep her and stuff like that. I'm just like, yeah, because I know exactly, I know what I'm doing, and I have a very solid backup, and this is what most guys don't have. So yeah, so burning desire is key, and the discipline, I think that, yeah, so I'm pretty sure that loads of guys are out there, and if you guys decide, like, some of you guys decide to join, and you really are at the stage where um said, maybe you're at the stage where I was, or anything, but you have this desire. So we're all, including myself, I'm very keen on helping people who are serious. So we definitely will get you there. And because I believe, especially in the group, what I encourage, and what we all encourage, is kind of value sharing, because we all are helping each other. So when I had some relationship problems with a previous girl, then I was, had this pregnancy scares, and I call the guys, and we're like keeping in the on the right track. And yeah, actually interesting here, for example, as opposed to, and by no means is no disrespect to my friends, but like when I had some problems with the previous girl. So I call Kristian, I call the Entourage. We're all like, very supportive, but also very rational, like very logical in terms of, okay, this, that. So I called my friend, and he said like, no bro, you stuck with her forever now, what did you do, you crazy, she's gonna do a binary boiler on you, all that stuff. And I literally thought like, damn bro, I'm gonna get a bloody panic attack now. So you see, and so you see how important it is to have. So imagine I didn't have Entourage. That would be running around panicking like a headless chicken, imagining all the bunny boilers. And I think none of that happened. So it's uh, it's crazy, but it's funny at the same time. So
And I
yeah.
think that's you make a good point though. It's like, when guys join our group and they get connected with me, it's not just me that they're getting connected with, and it's not just me that they're learning from. I actually think it's in some ways more valuable for beginners to learn from people such as yourself, because
Yeah.
you've been in their position recently, so you've got way more empathy, and I would say in some ways you've actually got more authority than I've got, because you were like right there in the trenches at the start of the year, learning all this stuff fresh, like with all of the self-limiting beliefs that you had. So now when guys come and they join the group, they're not just getting my perspective, they're actually getting a relatable perspective from somebody who's been through it and is still going through it as well. Like, you're still early on
Yeah.
your own journey. But I think that's what makes the group so valuable, is it's not just me who can teach people. When you guys join, they get to talk with people like yourself, and you're like, no, listen, I've been through that. Here's what I did. That was something that I struggled with. Here's how I overcame it. I think once we've got that, because we've got that collection of wisdom from all different people, I think that that's the true value in a community, because then it's not just me that can help people, it's everybody in the group as a collective, all lifting each other up. And I think that's where the true value of community lies.
Exactly. And just to add to that, I know that we've probably taken lots of time talking about but one important thing I wanted to highlight here is that even though we see like, yeah, I'm a private person, so I'm not showing my face and stuff, but the reason I wanted to go out there is to see like, look, it's not some kind of AI generated thing that Kristian just created a bot to promote his channel. No, I'm a real person, and you can see my transformation in comments. So I think on YouTube, when you go to somebody's profile, you can probably see like whatever comments they post. So you can see I was posting a lot. I did a podcast already, so I'm a real person. I'm Kristian is not paying for this promotion, right? So I volunteered to do that. I actually said like, Kristian, let's do that, because I really want to share that, because I want to get this message across to people who are like me in terms of seriousness. I don't care about people who are not serious. Even actually, in fact, this is what I stopped responding to other people's comments in Kristian's videos sometimes, because I did it in the past, and you see like some people are just not there and just get me out of my state. But I'm saying like, look, guys, if you're serious there, so I am. I'll be, and you join at some point. You can count on my full support in this as well. So this is a very, very genuine, serious testimonial in terms of, and these are real results. It's not like, oh yeah, now I overcame my approach anxiety, I can talk to girls, but yeah, I'm still not getting anybody in my bed. So I literally have the perfect relationship with my dream girl, basically, literally. And I'm super fussy. I'm extremely fussy. And I've been to loads of places. I've been to lots of high-end places and stuff. I'm not spoiled. I've been spoiled by beauty. So, but we're not talking physical also. So we're talking about person. So it's somebody who is stunning, but also is feminine, is looking after you, is the full package, basically. And there are lots of women out there, and also there are lots of people. There are also women like that in London as well. There are also people like that in the US or anywhere where you are. So it's on the contrary to what lots of red pillars say, like, yeah, you have to go like super far away. Like, no, I mean, like there are lots of plenty of great girls in London. If you're after English girls, there are plenty of good-looking English girls who are still feminine, who are not brainwashed by radical ideas, and yeah. But you got to go out there. You got to become, an attractive version of yourself and get them. So yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to say. Don't know if
that's been so useful. I hope that people have taken at least one thing away from this. I think there's been so many things that you've said which have hopefully ignited a lot of inspiration and motivation inside of people. I make it clear to people all the time, information is only going to get you so far. You need implementation, you need accountability, you need permission, you need like-minded people around you. Going out there, doing it on your own, it's okay at the start, just to give yourself a way of beginning. But if you're serious about integrating this skill set into your busy lifestyle and actually making this something you are rather than something you do, replicating the results that Richie has been able to get, then that's what we're here for. So when the doors reopen again, then you can join us, but as long as you're actually serious and as long as you actually want this as much as we want it, because we don't have time for part-timers or people who are half-assed about it. So yeah, there's a link below if you're interested in finding out more of the details. But yeah, just thank you again for dedicating your time, because I know you're super busy with everything going on in your life at the moment, with your work, with your women and everything. So yeah, just thank you for being able to squeeze out an hour of your time to actually do this. I truly appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully just more transformations to come over the future. This is very much just a start, and you should be immensely proud of everything that you've achieved so far.
Thanks, Kristian. Thank you. And just the last one, if I may. So
Yeah.
just to piggyback on your message, I think so guys, whoever watch this and you're inspired, and whilst you are waiting for Kristian to reopen the access, I think if you're very serious, just go out there and try to do as much as you can to prepare yourself to becoming a better person. Maybe it's your gym, maybe it's your nutrition, just general social skills. Obviously, that's what I did before we started the session. Kristian said, well, don't particularly cold approach itself, but become more sociable. But I would say that if you can, what Kristian says, do the first 100 yourself. Don't judge yourself too hard on this. But if you're serious, you're going to do it, and it's going to be difficult. But you're going to feel so much better about it. And this is probably a very good test for yourself as well. Like, am I able to do 100 on my own? If you are, then you are serious, and don't watch what quality of the approaches are, even if they're like super, well, I call them Hugh Grant approaches, like in Notting Hill. Yeah, but doesn't matter. But if you manage to do it, then it's probably a good litmus test for yourself, because sometimes we don't know what we want or not. But yeah, that would be my little advice here.
Yeah, I think that's solid. Yeah, I urge everybody to just go out and try it, you know. And if you have been able to do 100 on your own, and fucking great, like you are the exact person that we're looking to attract, because you've already shown yourself that you are competent. Your approaches might be shit, and you don't know what you don't know, and that's fine. But it does just show desire. Even if you've just been out there and you've done 10, it still just shows desire, you know. So yeah, everybody's operating on their own timeline. I understand that, but yeah, the desire does need to be there. If you're just watching these videos for entertainment purposes, then you just need to stop watching and start doing. Otherwise, you'll get to a stage in your life, like Richie said before, where your best years are behind you. You're just going to be thinking, what did I do in my life? Oh, I just watch live streams every single day. So yeah, don't be that guy. Go outside just today and just do something. Whether it's talking to somebody, signing up to the gym, going to a fight class, going to an improv class, just start stacking those wins and getting that momentum behind you, because belief does follow action, and you can be a different person the more wins that you stack. So yeah, listen, we'll leave it there. Thank you again. I really do appreciate your time. And yeah, just looking forward to future transformations, future conversations. I know we've got lots of different meetups and stuff scheduled for next year. 2025 will be a big year for the Entourage. Just loads of crazy shit is going to be happening. So yeah, just great to be with you on this journey. And yeah, we'll speak again soon. All right, Richie.
Thanks, Kristian.